It's time to analyse some more of your sim racing shunts. I'm Scott Mansell, a professional driver and coach, and I'm going to take my view on who's at fault in these sim racing shunts or whether they're just simply racing incidents. So first up, here we have a BMW and a Ferrari, I think. Coming along the straight here. Car behind's got a good toe, pulls out, pink car pulls across, or they make contact and they're off straight away. So this is a weaving down the straight for defensive type of move. So let's just rewind that and take a look in a little bit more detail. Now the quality of the video isn't great here. So the car behind pulls out of the toe and the pink car ahead just pulls across. It's a little bit late here. So it's a bit naughty, it's kind of disrupting the flow of the car, but he does move across before the cars are overlaid and then weaves across and the car behind tags the car in front and he goes off, tags the Ferrari and he goes off into the wall. So for me, this is a difficult one. It's pretty fine. The pink car was a little bit naughty, the Ferrari was a little bit naughty pulling across so late, but then the car behind was a little bit naughty and not lifting off the accelerator and just driving into him as he pulled across there. So I'm going to say, I mean, essentially, it was a bit naughty by the pink car, but the car behind should have backed out the throttle slightly so they didn't cause the incident. Let me know in the comments below which car you think was at fault here, because it is a difficult one. So here we are in iRacing at Suzuka. Got a couple of BMWs here, 3 BMWs. The camera car is moving through. Where's the other BMW gone? I'm not sure. It's on the inside, purple car's on the outside. And they come together in the braking zone for the right-hander here. Oh, we've got another view, so let's watch that. Got the purple car on the outside, pink purple car on the outside. Coming to the next right, oh, and the pink car moves across. So let's take another look at that from the helicopter camera. They're side by side, they know where each other are, they're giving each other plenty of room at this moment, and the pink car moves across in the braking zone. And as you can see there, the cars are overlapping each other. So for me, at that point, it's the fault of the pink car that was ahead. He knows that the other car is up the inside, they're in the braking zone, and he moves across, and it's very close, but they tag each other and then they both go off. So the pink car shouldn't have moved across in the braking zone there. He should have left that car width on the outside, as with the Formula 1 regulations, where you can't move across on a car if he's part way alongside you. Okay, so here we are in iRacing again. We've got the blue car behind, getting a good run. It's getting alongside. The car is attacking. Side by side action here. And then he just goes in quite hot into the left-hander and gets tagged around. So let's take another look at that from the beginning in slow motion so we can see what's going on here.
All's well here, they're
giving each other a nice amount of space.
Blue car here, you
can see by the brake lights.
Getting on just a little bit later with a little bit less pressure.
He's trying to send it around the outside. Now in a quick corner like this, it's always a difficult thing to do because there isn't very much of a braking zone there. There's not much deceleration going on, so it's quite difficult to kind of get your car in front of the car that you're alongside because there just isn't the time where you're decelerating. Anyway, he's tried to do that. The car on the inside has kept himself on the normal racing line, I would say, and the blue car at this point has chopped down. So for me, it's the fault of the blue car on the outside here. He's just driven across the car on the inside, kind of making it their responsibility to get out of the corner and give it up for them. It's overly ambitious. What he should have done was actually just backed out of it because he wasn't gonna make it safely at least around the outside of the car here. He could have got away with it if the car on the inside really backed out of it really early, but it wasn't his responsibility to do that. And so, yes, it's down to the blue car in my opinion on this one. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this one, because again, it's pretty close. If you are enjoying this video at this point, please like and subscribe to the Drive 61 Sim Racing channel. It will really help the YouTube algorithm and help this video get discovered by more sim racers. Okay, so here we are in Project Cars. We've got a dispute between a GT4 car and an LMP car that's coming through to lap him, I think. Dives up the inside and they make contact. Now this is something that we struggle with in the real world as well. When you've got such a disparity in speed, there's always going to be difficulties there. The LMP cars are so much faster than the GT cars. So let's watch that again from on board the Mustang. So we're coming down the chicane here, it turns in and bang, all of a sudden the P3, is it a P3 or a, yeah, I think it's a P3 car. The P3 car's there, diving up the inside. It's dark, it's difficult to see, and don't forget we are racing in a sim here, so you don't know whether the driver's got a triple screen monitor setup or VR setup or even just a single screen, in which case it's very difficult to see in this area just here. For me, and just going back to the first footage here, I think this is the fault of the LMP car, because he should have the maturity and the knowledge to know that the Mustang is going to come down in this tricky area. It's a chicane, it's quite flowing, and he's going to come down. He might not have seen him, and the P3 car just bangs it up the inside on the grass, dives down there. They're difficult to see. The Mustang turns in as he would have done on all the previous laps, and then he's just got a car there all of a sudden. So to me, it's a little bit of kind of maturity from the LMP car there, where you should just wait or go around the outside. It's about protecting yourself as much as possible from making a mistake and putting yourself in a position where you're putting all the responsibility on another driver to see you when they might not have. So next up we're in ACC. Okay. Not much to see here. It's only an 8-second clip anyway, so let's watch it again. We've got an Aston and a Nissan coming up behind. Big old heavy Nissan goes in a bit hot on the brakes, nerfs the Aston, and they spin off. So yeah, let's watch that again, but there's nothing to really say here. The Aston didn't do anything wrong. It's not up to him to get out of the way. He had the corner. It's down to the Nissan to get on the brakes at the right point and get the car slowed down. So completely the Nissan's fault there, just fired the Aston round. Next up we've got a Mercedes v a BMW, and he says, was he too ambitious or should I have conceded the corner? Right, let's have a look. So we're dark. Nothing much going on at the moment. Lines look alright. Oh! Then the BM comes, gives him a little tap, lets him know that it's there. It's quite a big one. So already the Merc should be thinking, God, this guy behind me is a little bit erratic. Oh, BM's getting a good run here, catching the Merc up. Looks like he's going for it anyway, and then doesn't quite make it and takes the Merc out. So let's just rewind to the end of that section. So for me, and obviously the Mercedes is going to struggle to see this in his mirror, the white Mercedes is going to struggle to see this, but you can see from the kind of attitude of the BM on the right hand side here, he's already made the decision that he's coming up the inside. He's parked his car on the inside. He's not going to actually be patient and wait, he's just going for it. What he'd be much better off doing actually is going the other side of it and going on the left, going on the normal line, because the Merc's kind of half defended already. BMW should be patient because it's going to be risky overtaking here. The Merc's kind of really restricting the line on the inside. If he was to go on the normal line, he could then cut back on the exit and get a good run coming down the following section of circuit. You should always remember that the overtaking manoeuvre is mostly done in the previous corner and the straight after that. You should pretty much get alongside the car so that then when you go into the next section of track, half the job is already done. I see this happen way too much, where drivers are just dive bombing on the brakes, and it happens in the real world as well, but they dive bomb on the brakes coming from miles back, and it's just a luck of the draw whether they manage to get through or not. You're just putting yourself in such a position here where you're going to have a crash. So this, in my opinion, is completely the fault of the BMW behind. The only thing I will say is that the Mercedes here, the white Mercedes, is kind of doing a half-hearted job of defending coming down to this corner. He's left enough room for the BMW to come, whereas if he was right up the inside here, the BMW would have no option other than to go around the outside. So if it were me, I would actually bring the car down to the inside nice and early. Then when the BMW goes to the outside, which he should do, then I'd actually try and bring the car back up towards, kind of, not all the way out because the BMW might be there on the outside, but bring the car up towards the outside of the circuit so that then I've got a decent run going through the right-hander and I give myself the best opportunity at defending down the following straight. So if you haven't watched my other video on sim incidents, please click up here and check that out. And if you're looking to get faster in the sim and become a more competitive driver, check out these hints and tips that I've put together focusing on technique to make you faster in the simulator. Just click the video up here and I'll catch you in the next one.